Today we're going to talk about negative exponents. This seems to be a hard concept for people to get. I kind of went through the why of it with you already, so now this is just going over the rules. So when you see a negative exponent, you should think fraction. That's what I want you to think. So a negative exponent does not mean a negative number, which is what most people associate it with. It means it's going to be a fraction, and we kind of went through why of that. So that's going to be really important. So a number with a negative exponent is equal to 1 over that number with a positive. So z to the negative fourth would be 1 over z to the fourth. 6 to the negative 3 would be 1 over 6 to the third, and then if they do ask you to compute, you would have to go ahead and figure out what 6 to the third is. So it depends upon if they're asked to write it as an exponent form or as a number form. So let's see if we can use this rule and do some problems. So it's important to read the directions. This says write using a positive exponent. So a negative exponent, just by definition, is 1 over that to the positive, and there would be your answer. Again, this is going to be 1 over, and the negative 4 inside stays the same, but it's the exponent that becomes positive. And you do need to keep that negative 4 in parentheses because this does mean something different. So keep it in parentheses if it's in parentheses to start with. Write each fraction as an expression using a negative exponent other than 1. So it's kind of the reverse of that. This is 1 over 8 to the second. Well, that would be the same as 8 to the negative 2 power. 1 over 3 to the 7th would be 3 to the negative 7 power. Now this one you're first going to need to say, what is 25 in exponent form? 5 to the second. So that would be your first step, and then it would be 5 to the negative 2 power. So this is undoing the rule or going the rule in the opposite direction. This one we want to write as an actual number. So the first step would be to do the same thing that we've been doing, write what a negative exponent means. So it means 1 over 3 to the third, and then we got to figure out what 3 to the third is equal to. So this is what it means, remember. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. This would be 1 over 6 to the first, which is just 1/6. Here we're going to evaluate, so we're going to put a negative 2 in for x, and then we're going to put negative 4. So it's going to be 1 over negative 2 to the fourth. Now what does negative 2 to the fourth means? It means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, and you can either count the negative signs, that's one way, or you can pair them up. This would be positive, this would be positive, these two positive, these two positive, so it would be positive 1/16 there. But make sure you keep track of the sign there.